afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the fifth day of the 2025 European Aquatics Junior Diving Championships. I am Paola Flaminio, and as usual, I'm ready to watch with you some great diving. But first, the presentation of the athletes competing in the first final today. Girls A, 1 meter. Aliona Zabrodskaya was already presented. This was Anni Dorothea Szabo from Hungary. And now from Germany, Matilda Wendland. Signestal now from Sweden. Nadeja Trifonova. She is one of the two athletes that this afternoon will compete the reverse 2.5 somersault in a tuck position. Amalie Enya Forster from Romania. Amalie Underwood from Great Britain. She is the other athlete who will perform this very hard dive. 3.0 degree of difficulty, reverse 2.5 somersault tuck. From Italy now, Giorgia De Santis. Fourth place from this morning, Ksenia Bocek from Ukraine. And now, reigning European Junior Champion in this event, Diana Carnafel. She won gold last year with 368.65 points. Emily Delm from Germany, second place this morning in the preliminary rounds. And the winner of this morning competition, Victoria Kazantseva. She did an amazing job this morning. No mistakes for her in the prelims. She won the competition with 394.30 points. So these girls will perform 4 optional dives this afternoon from 4 different diving groups. This morning the competition saw 35 participants at the start. It was a very long competition, more than 2 hours. While the judges take their seats, I can tell you that only one athlete changed her diving list for this final, and that is Nadeja Trifonova. Her last dive this morning was a reverse 1.5 somersault in a pike position at 2.4 degree of difficulty. This afternoon, she will try to perform the reverse 2.5 somersault in a tuck position at 3.0 degree of difficulty. It's the hardest dive we will see today. 7 judges. Here they are. Just giving the time for the first athlete to step on the board. A curious fact, in the final right now, in the first round, we will see 7 divers out of 10 start with an inward 1.5 somersault in a pike position. We saw this strategy and this diving order also in the girls B 1 meter event. Probably divers feel confident starting with the standing dive and a forward rotation. Can't wait for the competition to start. We saw awesome things this morning. This is the diving order. 12 participants in the final, the top 12 ranked from this morning. And here we are, ready to start. Aliona Zabrodskaya, backwards 1.5 somersault in a pike position. Nice start in today's final for Aliona. Nicely done. Clean entry, nice pike position. 6.5 for her. Nice solid start, 43.70 points. Now, Annie Dorotti Azzabo, same dive, backwards 1.5 somersault in a pike position. She takes her time. Not a very nice start for Annie. She doesn't push strong from the board. She doesn't jump high enough. The dive is short in the entry. Only 4.5 for her. Not a great way to start her final. Matilda Wendland from Germany now. Inward 1.5 somersault, pike position. Nice strong start for Matilda. Nice push, nice sharp pike position, nice entry. 6.5 for her for a total of 46.80 points. Signe now from Sweden. Backwards 1.5 somersault in a pike position. Nicely done. I really like this backwards 1.5 somersault. Nice push, very fast rotation, no splashes in the entry. Good job, Signe. 7.5 for her and 51.75 points. Bring her in first position. Nadeja Trifonova, inward 1.5 somersault, pike position, 2.4 degree of difficulty. Nicely done. These girls want those medals. They're diving really well. Nice jump from the board. Nice lineup in the entry. 7.5, 54 points. The best dive we've seen so far this afternoon. From Romania, Emily Enya Forster. Another inward 1.5 somersault in a pike position. A small mistake by Emily. She has a very fast rotation while spinning in the air, and that causes the dive to land over. 6s for her. Small mistake, nothing too big, but for sure she wanted something more from that inward 1.5. Emily Underwood now, in backwards 1.5 somersault in a pike position. Nice start for Emily. She moves her shoulders backwards while pushing from the board. That causes the dive to go far away. But 6.5 for her and an average dive with 43.70 points total. Giorgia De Santis from Italy, inward 1.5 somersault, pike position. A small mistake also for Georgia. She doesn't line up correctly in the entry. She keeps her dive short, so 6.5 for her. I know she can do this dive much, much better. She isn't quite satisfied with it. Ksenia now, inward 1.5 somersault, pike position. Much better dive by Ksenia, the same dive we've just seen from Georgia. Look at that entry. Nice pointed toes. She will score more, exactly 7.5. She takes the lead with 51.60 points. From Ukraine, the reigning champion of this event. Forward 2.5 somersault in a pike position. Ooh, this is a big mistake for her. Not the way she wanted to start this final. Look at how many splashes. She does the extra somersault too early. She starts the extra somersault that should be done underneath the water above. So she leaves so many splashes. Not a nice way to start her final for the reigning champion. Now, Emily from Germany, inward 1.5 somersault, pike position. Nicely done. Nice 1.5 inward, pike position. Good jump. Nice pike position, nice rotation, nice entry, 7s across the board for her, and she takes the lead. Now, the winner from this morning's preliminary rounds, Victoria Kazantseva, inward 1.5 somersault, pike position. This morning she made no mistakes and won the competition with 394.30 points. That's a high score. Wow, she jumps up in the air, perfectly lined up in the entry. This is the best one we've seen so far, exactly 8s for her, 57.60 points is the total on this dive. So this closes the first round of dives. Here's the rankings. Emil from Germany, Victoria second and third place for Ksenia. The divers are still very close. We still have 3 rounds to go, so anything can still happen. First up, Aliona. Reverse 1.5 somersault, pike position. Oh no, a mistake on the hurdle. She jumps back. She doesn't reach the point. She doesn't reach the point of the board. That causes her to lose height. 5.5 for her, only 38.40 points. Annie now for her another reverse 1.5 somersault in a pike position. Another mistake for Annie, already her second mistake in this final. I think we can call her out of the medal fight for sure. 4s for her, only 30 points. Not happy with that. Matilda now, forward 2.5 somersault, pike position. Nice stop. The spinning, the rotation was quite slow. The entry is vertical. I'd say an average dive from her, exactly. Judges agree because 6s for her and 46.80 is the total on this dive. Sinje from Sweden, reverse 1.5 somersault, pike position. Good dive, very good job. She jumps very high up in the air. Nice fast rotation and a vertical entry. 7s for her. 50.40 on this dive brings her on top of the rankings. Nadeja Trifonova, forward 2.5 somersault, pike position, 2.6 degree of difficulty. Not a good timing on the hurdle. We can hear her stomping on the board. You want to go on the same rhythm with the board. 5.5 only, 42.90. She will perform the reverse 2.5 somersault in the last round of dives, and she doesn't want a bad hurdle like this one on that dive. Emily, now another front 2.5 somersault, pike position. A bad mistake on the hurdle once again. Look how her shoulders are completely out of the board. Her balance is forward out of the board. She doesn't even do the circle arm. Only 4s for her. This is a big mistake. Now, for Emily, a big dive. 3.0 degree of difficulty. Reverse 2.5 somersault, tuck position. This is the hardest dive we will see today. Only one other athlete will perform this dive. And she does an awesome job. 3.0 degree of difficulty. It's a few women in the world are able to do this dive, and she makes it vertical. 52.50 points is her total. Very good job on this hard dive. But moving on, Georgia DeSantis, reverse 1.5 somersault, 1.5 twist. Another bad hurdle. She is on the side of the board. You can see her feet are all on the left side of the board. She manages to keep the dive vertical anyways, but this is not what what we are used to see from her. 6s are the awards from the judges. Not satisfied at all, Georgia. Now Ksenia, forward 2.5 somersault, pike position. Good job, Ksenia. A nice front 2.5 somersault pike. Vertical entry, a little splashy, but 6.5 and 7 for her. 52 points, and she takes the lead. Diana now, backwards 1.5 somersault, pike position. She will need to do some great dives to come back from that big mistake on her first dive, the front 2.5 somersault pike. Nicely done. This is what she is capable of doing. This is what we want to see today afternoon. 7s for her, 47.15 on this dive, and her total score is 278. Emily from Germany, front 2.5 somersault pike position. Good dive. The rotation wasn't the fastest, but she manages to keep the dive vertical. 6.5, 7, 52 is her total, and she takes the lead. But now the leader from this morning's preliminaries, Victoria Kazantseva, a backwards 1.5 somersault pike position. Nicely done. She is very, very high up in the air and very elegant in all of her positions. The only mistake is that she doesn't keep her core tight while coming out of that pike position. This causes the dive to land over, so past the vertical line. But overall, a good job. These are the rankings after the second round. Emil in first, then Xenia, and third place for Victoria. The second and third place are very close, not even 1 point between second and third place, but we move on with the first dive of the third round. Aliona, she will perform an inward 1.5 somersault pike position. Nicely done, nice inward 1.5. Not the strongest of the push from the board, but good entry, 7s for her. 49.20 is her score on this dive. Anni from Hungary, forward 2.5 somersault, tuck position. She made 2 big mistakes on her first 2 dives. I would like to see something better from her. Finally, a good dive also for Anni. Very fast in the rotation, nice tight tuck position. An entry, 2 splashy, but 5.5, 6 for her. 40.80 on this dive. Matilda, backwards 1.5 somersault, pike position. Good dive from Matilda. Not the fastest rotation. Yes, she is spinning slowly, but she is able to spot correctly in the air, land on her head. 7s for her. Nice total of 47 points. Signe from Sweden, a front 2.5 somersault, pike position. Good job, Signe. She puts it far from the board, but the entry is vertical. Overall, an average score, yes, 6. That's the word of the judges. Up on the board, we already have Nadeja, and she will perform a back 1.5 somersault in a pike position. Good job on this backwards 1.5. Nice entry, no splashes at all. I liked it. Too bad she made some mistakes on her voluntary dives this morning. If not, we could have seen her up there in the first places of the rankings. Now, Amélie, Another back 1.5 somersault in a pike position. She will need to come back from that big mistake on the previous round. And she does, it's not a perfect dive, but overall not too bad. She jumps farther away from the board, but the dive is vertical, 6s for her. She lands in 6th place. Amélie now, front 2.5 somersault in a pike position. Good job, Amélie. Another athlete that jumps way too far from the board, but the entry is vertical and it's clean. So 6.5 and 7 for her, and she takes the lead with 324.20 points total. Georgia from Italy will perform now a back 1.5 somersault in a pike position. Not a perfect dive from Georgia. Here we see in the replay, she is quite close to the board. Her feet almost touch. 6s for her, 42.55 her total. And she lands in 3rd place. Now, Xenia will perform a reverse 1.5 somersault in a pike position. This is a nice dive. Great timing on the board, very high up in the air, and no splashes in the entry. Let's see what the judges think, but yes, 7.5 for her. She takes the lead with 340.95. Now, Diana, forward 1.5 somersault with double twist. She will need high scores if she wants to aim for gold. Nicely done, Diana. She is the only athlete, I think, if I am right, performing this dive in this final. Good entry, vertical entry, nice push, nice shape in her twisting position. So, waiting for the awards of the judges. We have some technical problems. And here they are, 6.5 and 7. She is second. 10 points behind her teammate, which is now in 1st position. Now on the board, Emily Deml from Germany, reverse 1.5 somersault, pike position. Yeah, sorry for that. There was an announcement, but here we are. Emily, reverse 1.5 somersault, pike position. Nicely done. Also, Emily had a great timing on the board, high up in the air, nice sharp pike position. She lets her core. She doesn't hold her core tight in the entry, but 7s for her, 50.40 points is a good total. And now Victoria, forward 2.5 somersault in a pike position. A little mistake from Victoria. This entry isn't perfect. We can see how her feet go past the vertical line, but 7s for her. She's in 3rd place. So we have Emily from Germany in first place with 345.75 points. Xenia in second and Victoria in third are very close. Only 6 points between first and third place. I'd say fourth place is a little further away, 9 points away, but anything can still happen. We have the last round of dives, and Aliona is the first one up on the boards, and she will perform a front 2.5 somersault pike position. Same mistake as Victoria in the previous round. She passes the vertical line, 5.5 for her. She closes her competition with a total of 348 points. And now, last dive for Annie, inward 1.5 somersault pike position. Another small mistake by Annie. Absolutely not her day. Not the best diving from her this afternoon. Sixes. Her total is 320.65. And there she goes. Up on the board now, Matilda for her last dive. A reverse 1.5 somersault pike position. Probably the worst dive we've seen from Matilda this afternoon. The entry is quite short of the vertical line. She doesn't reach back with her arms during the entry, so her final score is 354 points, and she takes the lead for now. But for sure that won't be enough for a medal. Signe now from Sweden, an inward 1.5 somersault in a pike position. Nicely done, nice finish for Signe. She did a good competition. No big mistakes for her. She closes her competition with 370.25 points. That's a good score. Good job, Signe. Should be happy with that. Now, Nadezhda with reverse 2.5 somersault tuck position. This is a hard dive, 3.0 degree of difficulty. No. If you do a harder dive, you want to be sure you're gonna execute it well. If not, it's better doing an easier dive and receiving higher awards. Her total score is only 36 points on this dive, and yeah, not a happy finish for her. Emily, her last dive is a reverse 1.5 somersault in a pike position. Awesome entry, perfectly vertical, no splashes at all. Not the best of the hurdles. We can hear she's off time and she stumps the board, but 7.5. Her total score is 343.50. Nice smile for her. Nice way to finish. Good job, Emily. Now, another Emily, but this time from Great Britain. Inward 1.5 somersault in a pike position. Good finish for Amelie, not the strongest of the jumps off the board. and she jumps back quite a bit, but the entry is vertical, sixes for her, 367.40 points, and Signe is ahead. Georgia now, a front 2.5 somersault in a pike position. Very good in the entry, but once again a problem on the hurdle. She never reaches the point of the board. She struggled a lot with that today. 6.5, 368.05. That's her total, and I think that won't be enough for a medal. She is already in second place. Ksenia now. Reverse 1.5 somersault with 1.5 twist. Oh no, this is a big mistake. She was going for a medal. This is a false start. She can redo the dive and the hurdle. Well, not that dive, she still didn't dive, but she can redo the hurdle. But every single award from every judge will be lower. They will take 2 points off from every single award. This is a big mistake for her. The dive is very good, but the score won't be so high. This is too big of a mistake. She lost the medal with that mistake. It's too bad. She knows it. She knows it, and she is disappointed. Let's see her score. Exactly, 376.05. Actually, maybe she can still make it. Let's see now Diana. Inward 1.5 somersault in a pike position. Ksenia took the lead, even though she made that huge mistake on the hurdle and had to redo the hurdle, so she did a false start. Diana now needs 45.30 points to take the lead. I think she will take the lead because this is a dive that's worth way more than 45.30 points. Let's see what the judges think. But yes, exactly, 54 points. She takes the lead and she assures a medal. 384.75 is her total. Now, the leader of the rankings up till now, she will perform a reverse 1.5 somersault with 1.5 twist in a pike position. Let's see if she will keep her nerves calm. A small mistake for her. She doesn't keep her core tight while entering the water, so her feet go over the vertical line, but I think she will take the lead, and this means a medal for her. Yes, exactly, 400.35 points. That's an awesome score. But now, already, she looks very happy and smiley. That's nice to see. But on the board, we already have Victoria. Her last dive is a backwards 1.5 somersault with 1.5 twist. Victoria needs 60.90 points. I don't think she will be able to reach that score. But let's see. This is a great dive. Very good job by Victoria. Very nice and clean, elegant. I really like it. But yes, I thought it's not enough. 395.70 is her total. So here we have the rankings. Emily Deml from Germany wins the girls A 1 meter final with 400.35 points. Good job, Emily. She was amazing this afternoon. Second place for Victoria Katsantseva with 395.70 points. Third place for Diana Carnafel, the winner of last year's event. She wins bronze this year with 384.75 points. And now we will see each other in a while with the boys A 3 meters final. I'll already tell you, they did some amazing dives this morning. We will see some great diving in a few moments. Bye.
Abre para regalar una de las dos. Esta cosa molto diversa. No. Αυτή από την μαζί είναι. Όχι. Είναι τρία. Όχι. Είναι 1, 3, 2, 4. Και δύο τώρα. Τρία, δύο, τέσσερα. Δύο. Βάλει. Θα πιάσει το τέλος. Τι λες. Τι κάνουμε. Τι αρέσει να όλες. Ένα τρίποδο, τέλο, για το κάνω, μπαταρίες είναι εδώ γεμάτες τρίποδο. Συγγνώμη χωρίς μπατάρια την είχα. άμα με ξέρει κάποιος να αναγνωρίζει. Το σκαπελάκι να βάλω. Θα την πει αυτά είναι οκ εδώ στα 5. Θα την πει είναι οκ εδώ στα 5. Αυτή εδώ. Σκαφτίδας, σου στείλε. Κάνω λίγο ρεύμα να δω τι υπόλοιπο μπαταρίας έχει. Εδώ. Άρα δεύτερος δεν παίρνω τίποτα.
Ladies and gentlemen, κυρίες και κύριοι, καλησπέρα σας. Ο δεύτερος τελικός της ημέρας είναι τα 3 μέτρα παραπολίτων αγόρια άλφα κατηγορίας. The second final of the day is in the meter A category boys triple. We kindly ask all the athletes to be ready in the room in order to start the presentation of the performance. Πριν ξεκινήσουμε, θέλουμε να υπενθυμίσουμε σε όλους τους προπονητές και εθνικές ότι μετά το τελικό στις 4:30 ώρα θα γίνει ένα σεμινάριο από τον members officer του Ολυμπιακού Κλάδου του Τέραξη αναφορικά με τους παράγοντες των καταδύσεων και για την κρίση. Θα πάρει εξαρτή στο ίδιο επίπεδο που έγινε η τελική σύσκεψη. We would like to remind you that after the end of the second final at 19:30, there will be a clinic presented by the three-times champion, Mr. Klaus Diassi, on the pressure of the devastated economy, regarding the changes to diet technique and approach of judging. So all the coaches and judges are welcome to proceed to follow this seminar. European Aquatic Junior Diving Championships 2024. Let's start the presentation. Freedom People Finals for the day.
Ξεκινήσουμε. Στην κάμερα.
Representing France, Alamano Carlis.
And we are back once again. I'm Paola Flaminio, and there goes the presentation of the athletes who will compete in the second final of this afternoon, boys A 3 meters. That was Baptiste Alamano from France, and now Oscar Kane from Great Britain. From Georgia, Georgi Tsulukidze. from Germany now, Mai Leon Grucho. We've already seen some of these athletes in the previous finals, in the previous days. Now from Spain, Biel Clemente Gonzalez. From Ukraine, Maxim Mirza. He did great this morning, missed only one of his dives, the hardest one. Reverse 3.5 somersault in attack position. Now from Germany, Finn Au. Great job this morning, but for a medal, he will need some extra points here and there. Artem Makarov now. He was fifth this morning with 508.25 points. From Great Britain, Todd Gegus. And now third place from this morning and silver medalist from last year 3-meter event and gold medalist from this year 1-meter event, Kirilo Azarov. From Italy, Valerio Mosca. Nice animation for him. Funny faces. And the winner of this morning's preliminary round, Vladislav Kachanov. These boys were amazing this morning. I expect to see some awesome diving. This morning preliminary round saw 30 participants starting. Very long competition this morning. So some history of boys 3 meters. Last year, this event was won by Santoro Matteo from Italy with the score of 585.55 points. That was a really high score. Second place, as I said, was for Kirilo Azarov from Ukraine, and third place and bronze medalist from last year is Isaac Borslien. So 2 divers changed their dives from this morning, Valerio and Vladislav. They will both perform a 109C, which is a forward 4.5 somersault in attack position, 3.8 degree of difficulty, the hardest dive we will see here at these Junior European Championships. While the 7 judges are being presented and the athletes start to step up on the 3-meter boards, I can tell you that Valerio Mosca has the highest degree of difficulty list. This is the starting order. Top 12 athletes from this morning's competition. And we are ready with the first athlete up on the board, Baptiste Alemanno from France. He will perform a backward 2.5 somersault in attack position. And right away, a mistake on his first dive of the final. Baptiste comes out of that attack position too late, and the dive lands over. Let's see what the judges will award him on this dive. 5s for him, 42 points on this dive for Baptiste. And now, Oscar from Great Britain, inward 2.5 somersault in a pike position. Good job, Oscar. Nice strong start for him. Especially the entry is the part I like the best. Perfectly vertical, no splashes. Not the strongest of the jumps off the board, but 7.5 for him. That's a nice total of 67.50 on his first dive. Georgi Tsulukidze now. Forward 2.5 somersault with 1 twist pike. Nicely done. Nice start for Georgi. Not the strongest of the athletes as in strength, but the dive is well executed. 7s for him. 61.50 points is his score on the first dive. My Leon Grucho, backwards 2.5 somersault in a pike position. Nice start also for my Leon. Strong push, fast rotation, nice entry. Now in the replay I can see he loses his feet just before entering the water, but 7.5 for him is a nice way to start his final, and he takes the lead of the rankings. Biel Clemente Gonzalez from Spain now will perform a front 3.5 somersault in a pike position. Not a perfect dive from Biel. You see how entering the water he doesn't line up correctly. So 6s, 6.5 for him. Total of 57.35 points on this dive. Maxim Mirza, backwards 2.5 somersault in a pike position. This morning he did very well in prelims. He missed only 1 dive. But if he fixes that dive, he can be up there fighting for medals. Ooh, big mistake on the first dive. Not a nice way to start his final. See how he leans back with his shoulders while pushing up from the board. He doesn't stop the rotation, and 4.5s for him. Only 40.50 points. Not a nice start. Finn Au, inward 2.5 somersault in a pike position, a 3.0 degree of difficulty. Good job on this inward 2.5 somersault. Nice and elegant athlete. Very clean pike position. Very clean entry, even though it's not perfectly vertical. 6.5. 58.50 points the score on this dive for him. Artem, same dive as Finn. Inward 2.5 somersault, pike position. He scored only 188.85 points on his voluntary dives. That's quite low. Good job on this inward 2.5 somersault. Not the fastest of the rotations, but it's vertical. Let's see what the judges think. 6.5 for him. Yes, an average dive, 57 points. That's his score. Todd Gegus, backwards 2.5 somersault in a pike position. Very good job in the entry. No splashes at all, but look at that pike position. I don't like that at all. His legs are completely bent. Judges will have to penalize it. They don't. 7.5, 67.50. I guess they like that entry very much. Kirilo now will perform the same dive. So as I said, he was silver last year in this event, and the day before yesterday he won the 1 meter final. A mistake for Kirilo. He comes out of that pike position too late, right there, and he pulls back with his shoulders reaching towards the water. He didn't need that, so the dive passes the vertical line. 5.5 for him, and 51 points. Valerio Mosca now a forward 2.5 somersaults with double twist in a pike position. This is a 3.4 degree of difficulty. Nice start for Valerio. No splashes at all. Perfectly vertical. Good rhythm on the board. He loses his feet on the twist, but then he has that perfect entry. 7.5. Total of 74.80 points. That's an awesome score to start his final. And now Vladislav Kachanov, inward 2.5 somersault in a pike position. Nice start also for Vladislav. Not the fastest of the rotations, but a nice and clean entry. Very good. 7.5 for him, a total of 69 points, and he's second in the rankings. That's all for the first round. 4 more rounds to go. Valerio leads from Italy, second place for Vladislav, and third place for Todd. 4 more dives to go. As I said, anything can still happen. Second round. First up is Baptiste Alamanno. He will perform a reverse 2.5 somersault in attack position. He does a good job with his 2.5 reverse somersault. He was about to jump very far from the board because his shoulders were forward, but he manages to jump high vertical. Good job, 6.5, 53.20 points. Oscar Kane, backwards 2.5 somersault in a pike position. A little mistake for Oscar, not the highest of the jumps and not the fastest of the rotations. He should have squeezed that pike position more to get more speed. 6s for him. That are his awards. And now from Georgia, Georgi Tsulukidze, inward 2.5 somersault in attack position. Nicely done. An easy dive because it's only a 2.7 degree of difficulty, but he has a very nice vertical entry. Don't like the fact that he doesn't point his toes in the tuck position, but 6.5 for him, an average dive. Now, my Leon, for him, front 2.5 somersault with 1 twist pike. Ooh, not a nice noise on the board, completely off rhythm, but he manages to get the dive done. Nice save, I'd say. 6.5 and 7s for him. 61 points, 50 points is his total on this dive. BL from Spain, a backwards 2.5 somersault in a pike position. An average dive, I'd say. Not the strongest of the push from the springboard. The rotation is okay, but the entry is quite short of the vertical line, so yes, 5.5 from the judges. He reaches 293 and 45 points. Maxim now. This is a very hard dive. Reverse 2.5 somersault in a tuck position. 3.5 degree of difficulty. He saves this dive. He was very back on the springboard there. You can see how he steps back on the hurdle. So then he has to jump forward to get the distance from the board. 6s for him. Total of 298. He is not happy at all. We can see how he shakes his head. Finn Au now from Germany. Front 3.5 somersault in a pike position. Wow, very good job on the entry, even though also for him some problems on the hurdle. We can see how he jumps from the right side of the springboard, but what an entry. 7.5, 69.75. That's his score on this dive. Artem Makarov now will perform the same dive. Front 3.5 somersault in a pike position. Great job from Artem. He disappears under the water, but the dive isn't high up in the air. He doesn't jump that high. 8s, though, for him. 72.85 points is an awesome score. Good job. Now, from Great Britain, Todd, another front 3.5 somersault pike. Nicely done, Todd. Again, when he rotates in that pike position, his knees are completely bent. He has to work on that. But the dive is great. 8 for him. 72.85 is his score, and he takes the lead. Kirilo now. Another front 3.5 somersault. And another mistake from Kirilo. I was hoping to see great dives from him this afternoon. Probably some tension. 5.5. That's not what he usually performs. Valerio from Italy. Backwards 2.5 somersault pike position. Nicely done, Valerio. Didn't like the start. He pulls back with his shoulders, but he's very good spotting while rotating in the air and gets the dive vertical. 6 7s. He takes the lead with a total of 350.20 points. But now, the winner of this morning preliminary rounds, Vladislav Kachanov. Same dive, a backward 2.5 somersault pike. Ooh, another mistake on another backwards rotation. I've always said in these days, backwards rotations are tricky. Athletes don't see where they are going, so they have to spot by looking for the water, looking for the springboard, and this is very hard. Only 4s for him. He loses places in the rankings. Here it is. Valerio Mosca leads, Todd Gegus is second, third place for Mai Leon Grucho. First two are separated only by 1 point. Third place is a little further away, but fourth place is attached to third place, and so is fifth, so will be a nice finish. But moving on, first dive of round 3, Baptiste Alamanno. For him, an inward 2.5 somersault tuck position. Not an awesome inward 2.5 for Baptiste. We see how he lands over, he passes the vertical line. This won't be a high scoring dive. 5.5 for him. Yet, not enough for a top spot today in the rankings. Oscar Kane, reverse 2.5 somersault pike position. Good job, Oscar. This is a nice reverse 2.5 somersault pike. Nice pike position, nice entry. I can say the only thing is that he jumps too far from the board. Yes, and judges penalize him for that. 6.5, 57 is his total on this dive. Georgi, front 3.5 somersault tuck position. Great job by Georgi. He's not the cleanest of the athletes. You see how his positions aren't precise. He doesn't point his toes, but the dive is nicely executed, so 7s for him. And a total of 58 points on this dive. Mai Leon, he was in third place. Inward 2.5 somersault pike position. Nicely done. Very slow rotation, but it's enough for him to take the dive vertical in the entry. Good job, Mai Leon. 7s for him. 63 points, and he takes the lead. Now, from Spain, Biel, reverse 2.5 somersault pike position. Nicely done. Nice reverse 2.5 somersault for Biel. Nice sharp pike position. I would have preferred an entry with less splashes, but the dive is vertical. 6s for him. And we move on to Maxim Mirza, and he will perform a forward 3.5 somersault in a pike position. A big mistake on the first round for him. But this one's good. He makes the comeback. Very good job on this forward 3.5 somersault pike. Nice clean entry. 7.5 and 8 for him. 71.30 points. That's what we're used to see from Maxim. Finn. Back 2.5 somersault pike position. Another nice dive from Finn. He is in good shape this afternoon, especially in the entries. That's the best part of his dive. 7s for him, 63 points, and he's in second place, just short of a point behind his teammate. Artem Makarov now the same dive, a backward 2.5 somersault pike. Mistake for Artem. You see how he pulls back on with his shoulders when he jumps from the board, so this causes him to lose control of the rotation, and he comes out of that pike position too early. Only 5.5s for him. This will cost him some positions. Todd, he was second. Inward 3.5 somersault in attack position. This is a very hard dive. 3.4 degree of difficulty. It's gonna be an important one. This morning it was his only mistake. He does much better this afternoon. This morning he scored only 4.5s. He will score much more now. Look at that entry, no splashes. Let's see what the judges think. 71.40 points. This was a very important dive for Todd. He jumps ahead of everyone. Great job. Nice diving, boys. Kirillo now, forward 2.5 somersault, double twist. Another hard dive, 3.4 degree of difficulty. Amazing diving from these young boys. Very nice sharp pike position, perfect twisting position, nice entry. A little too many splashes, but overall a great job. 7.5, 76.50 is the total on this dive. And even though he had some mistakes on the first 2 rounds, he comes back. Valerio now, a reverse 2.5 somersault in a pike position. Not the best of the reverse 2.5 somersaults we've seen today, but since reverse dives are tricky, this is not too bad. 6.5, yes, average. 57 points, and he loses the lead because Todd, with that super inward 2.5, jumped right ahead. Now Vladislav, another reverse 2.5 somersault in a pike position. He is very good, manages to finish the dive. You can see how on the hurdle his feet are out of the springboard. That makes it very hard to jump, but he manages to do the dive anyways. And 6.5, 58.50 is his total score. So let's see the rankings after 3 rounds. We have 2 more rounds to go. Todd is in first, Valerio second, Kirilo third place, but right attached are My Leon and Finn. All the athletes are very close, especially the third from the 5th position. In the last 2 dives, we will see some very tough dives. So, but now, first diver of the 4th round, Baptiste, forward 3.5 somersault tuck position. Easier dive because it's 3.5 forward 3.5 in a tuck position. The other athletes prefer performing this dive in a pike position. 6s for him. His total score for now is 387.30. Oscar from Great Britain, exactly as I said, he performs a forward 3.5 somersault, but in a pike position. 3.1 degree of difficulty. Nicely done. He doesn't line up perfectly entering the water. He stays in a pike position right there. He's a little pike. But overall, a great job from Oscar. 6.5 sevens for him. 62 points is his total on this dive. Georgie now will perform a backwards 2.5 somersault tuck position. Nice entry from Georgie. He is doing his competition. Very good and constant in the execution of his dives. He's not the cleanest of the athletes. 7.5, 63 points, up in second place for now. My Leon, he was 4th, only 1 point behind bronze. So let's see. This is dive for medal contention. Front 3.5 somersault pike. Nice job. These boys are awesome this afternoon. In great shape. Look at that entry. Perfectly vertical. No splashes. 7s for him. He jumps up in the rankings. Takes the lead with 451.50 points. From Spain now, Biel, front 2.5 somersault with 1 twist. He does a good job of saving this dive. Look at how, in the replay, we will see how he jumps back on the hurdle. He doesn't reach the point of the springboard. But he manages to keep the dive vertical in the entry, so 6.5s for him, 60 points. Nice save, I'd say. Now, Maxime, a hard dive, 3.4 degree of difficulty. Too bad. When he enters the water, he loses control of his feet. We can see now in the replays lower how his feet are apart while entering the water. The dive is good, but that is a mistake that judge will notice. 6.5, 7, 68 points is his total. He is second. Finn, he was another athlete going for a medal right there close to 3rd place. Reverse 2.5 somersault, pike position. So, not the best of the reverse 2.5s we've seen. Quite slow in the rotation. and he doesn't keep his core tight while entering the water, and the legs fall short. Overall, an average dive, 6s for him, 52.50 points. This is the worst dive we've seen from him today. Artem Makarov, a very hard dive, reverse 3.5 somersault, tuck position. Ooh, and a big mistake for him. I said this was a very hard dive, 3.5 degree of difficulty. He over-rotates. Look at that. He comes out of the tuck position way too late, and the dive passes the vertical line. Too many splashes, only 4s for him. He was doing good, but after this, I don't know if he can stay there up in the medal contention. Now, the leader of this competition up till now, Todd Gegas, reverse 2.5 somersault pike position. Wow, this dive is amazing, perfectly vertical, no splashes. I really don't like those bent knees in the pike position though. I don't understand how judges, yes, he is being penalized this time for that bad pike position. The dive is amazing. The dive was very good, but it's not pike because the legs are bent. So now, Kirilo, reverse 2.5 somersault pike position. This is a nice reverse 2.5 somersault. Look at that difference in the pike position. His legs are perfectly straight. The entry is good, not as good as Todd's, but still good enough. 7s for him, 63 points. That battle right there, only 0.20 points between Mai Leon and Kirilo. But now, Valerio Mosca, front, 4.5 somersault tuck. Very hard dive. Oh my God, this is an awesome dive. He will score so high with this forward 4.5 somersault. A super high degree of difficulty. Let's see what the judges think, but this is the hardest dive of the competition. 91.20 points, and he jumps ahead of everyone. 8s across the board. Wow, now Vladislav will have a lot of pressure. He has to perform the same exact dive. This is a 3.8 degree of difficulty. These divers are very young. No way. 2 on 2. Very good job, boys. These dives are super tough. They managed to do them really, really well. Congratulations, boys. Nice jump. Nice fast rotation. Nice entries. 7s for him. Not as good as Valerius, but still an amazing job. So let's see the rankings after 4 dives. Before the final round, Valerio leads, Todd is second, third place for Vladislav, Mai Leon and Kirilo aren't far from bronze, just 8 points behind. Anything can still happen, we have the last round. Baptiste Alamano now, his last dive is forward 2.5 somersault double twist, 3.4 degree of difficulty. Not the best of the hurdles for Baptiste. You see he struggles right there. But the dive is far from the board. But still he makes it. 6s for him. His total score at the end of the competition is 400 sorry, no. His total score at the end is 448.50. Now, Oscar Kane, his last dive. Forward 2.5 somersault, 1 twist. Nice strong finish for Oscar. No big mistakes in his competition. I think he should be happy. Nice entries. Let's see what the judges award him, but his final score is 492.30. That's a good score. Georgi, last dive, reverse 2.5 somersault in attack position, 2.8 degree of difficulty. Good job, Georgi. This athlete has some awesome entries. He disappears under the water, no splashes at all. Very good job. He dove amazing this afternoon. 7.5. His total score is 492.80 points, just 0.5 points ahead of Oscar. Hey, this is medal contention. My Leon, reverse 2.5 somersault pike position. Important dive for him. And he nails it. What a finish for him. Now he has put some pressure on the athletes that still have to dive. Let's see the judges' score. Let's see what they think. 514.50. That's a very good score. Let's see if the other divers can keep up with that. He was just 9 points behind bronze. But now we have Biel on the board. His last dive is an inward 2.5 somersault pike position. Nice finish for Biel. Not the strongest of the athletes, but still a good vertical dive. Good entry. 6.5 for him. His total score is 465.95. Mirza Maxim, inward 2.5 somersault, pike position. He made too many mistakes. Good finish for Maxim. Too many mistakes on the previous round to be up there competing for a medal. He for sure will be disappointed of his competition. 494.40 is his total score at the end of the last round. But now, Finn Au. Front 2.5 somersault, 1 twist, pike position. Nice finish for Finn. I really like this athlete. He is very elegant and precise in all of his movements. Right there, nice pike position, nice entry, no splashes. Nice lineup, 7.5 for him. His final score is 505.70. Now, Artem. Forward 2.5 somersault, double twist, pike. Nice strong finish for Artem. This is a high degree of difficulty dive. He will have a nice high score to finish with. Exactly 71.40 is his last score. Yes, that bad mistake on the reverse 3.5 costed him the medal for sure. But now, Todd Gegus. Forward 2.5 somersault with double twist. 3.4 degree of difficulty. What a finish for Todd. Very good job. This very talented young boy competed amazing today. Look at that entry. No splashes at all. 7.5 for him. His final score is 565.95. Now he only has to wait for the next athlete to dive. Kirillo, inward 2.5 somersault pike position. Nice strong finish for Kirillo. Nice sharp pike position. Nice lineup and nice entry. Very good job. 7s for him. His score is 514.35, and that is not enough for bronze. Now, Valerio, inward 3.5 somersault tuck position. 3.4 degree of difficulty. And this is an amazing way to finish for Valerio. I don't know, he needed 67.55 points. I think he has them with this dive for gold. Let's see what the judges think. And he does. He is ahead of everyone with 569.80 points. But we have to wait for the last diver, Vladislav. Very hard to make it, but a front 2.5 somersault double twist. He still can win a medal. This is a dive for the medals. And he does a great job. This is a nice strong finish for him. I think he will win a bronze medal with this last dive. Let's see what the judges think. But yes, and it's bronze for Vladislav Kachanov. So, what a finish. These boys have been amazing today. Very hard dives, executed very well. Let's see the rankings. Valerio Mosca from Italy wins, just 3.85 points ahead of Todd from Great Britain. Third place for Vladislav. And this is the end of Boys A 3-meter springboard final. We will see each other in a few minutes for the victory ceremonies of the two finals of today. Bye.
La danza della vittoria è Carlo Magnani. είναι